Hello, it's Sheila. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. It's been a while since I made a recording, and it's good to be here, getting back after some time away. Little loss of momentum, but here we are. And in this week, we are moving into the autumn equinox, or the September equinox. Of course, it would be spring in the southern hemisphere. And we are also having an eclipse. There was another eclipse 2 weeks ago. So there's kind of a lot of bigger energies going on. So on this channel, we look at how the weather, the local weather, and also the bigger atmospheric or even cosmic, I guess if you want to call it, when it can includes the planets and stuff, can really impact our health in body, mind, and spirit. And we want to understand that so that we feel good in our bodies and our minds and our spirits as we go through our week and as we show up in our families and our communities and just in our life in general. So let's talk about what's going on. We do have this equinox coming up at the end of the week, and that is going to be happening on Monday, next Monday, the 22nd, following a solar eclipse that will be happening on the 21st. Now, most of us won't see the solar eclipse. I think it's going to be down in Antarctica and parts of southern New Zealand, but we will feel it and it will impact the whole world. The other thing that's been happening is that we have had a solar storm in the last few days, which are coming from accelerated wind streams coming in from the sun. And we're going to have a look at that in just a minute on the NOAA website. And in general, we're just experiencing a lot of change right now. So you might be experiencing headaches, fatigue beyond what feels normal, maybe some vertigo, maybe some dysregulated heart rates, just general um, feeling not quite yourself. And that's just because all these things are coming together and converging, and our bodies need to experience them and then come back to balance. So anything that we're feeling, like a headache or fatigue, is really all it is a signal from our body that something is out of balance. So remember that when something comes up, like, oh, I have a headache, or oh, I have this, that just means that something is out of balance. So then you go and take care of it. You get some extra rest. You get extra hydrated, things like that. So let's have a quick look at what's going on. I want to keep this video short and sweet and just kind of get back. So let's go ahead and get this sorted out so that I can share this. And here we are. So here is the biometeorological forecast for London. This is how the weather is impacting our biology and our bodies. And I really like this particular index because it does look at local weather, which is barometric pressure, wind, heat, humidity, so on. But it also looks at geomagnetic conditions, which is right here. And that means it affects everyone on the whole planet. And you can see that today we are in a 4 out of 5. And part of that has to do with that we've been having this geomagnetic storm for the last few days. And that is just converging with the approaching equinox and in the tilt of the earth, etc. So I know for myself, I've been feeling very tired. So maybe that's been you too. It has felt beyond normal. I'm trying to just honor that and rest as much as I am able. And if we look here at the NOAA page, it tells us right here it's a strong geomagnetic storm alert. These solar winds are coming in at 739 kilometers per second, and they were higher. Now you can see here that it also brings in the auroras, which this is a watch for these are locations where you might have viewings of the auroras, also known as northern lights. It can also affect technologies. Now, in the power grids, in the case of a really, really big storm, Well, for myself, I like anything that is affecting technologies and power grids can be affecting our bodies. And that just makes sense to me because our bodies are run on electrical currents of our central nervous system, our cardiovascular system, and our hormone receptors. So, one thing I'm trying to do with this channel is bridge that gap between paying so much attention to what the effects are on the technologies and really bringing that into the wisdom and technology of our body and understanding that, and then moving forward so that we all can experience our optimal health in the body, mind, and spirit. If we just move over here, this is just a picture of the whole index and the storm that we experienced. So the it's called the KP index. It did go up to a KP7 uh, on Sunday morning, just after midnight here, but I guess it would have been Saturday night in some places. And then now it's sort of calming down. But that, if you hear about the Aurora Watch or the KP index, that means that there are, let's just go back up here and look at this definition again. That means that there are disturbances in Earth's Earth's magnetic field, and the storm conditions are coming from outside of the atmosphere typically. So what can we do? I want to quickly go. This is from my newsletter this month and all about self-care. This is not a luxury. If we are going to get through all the stuff that is converging right now and moving into equinox, moving through the eclipses, coming through the peak of the solar cycle and everything that is going on with that, we really need to be paying attention to our bodies to make sure that that circuitry is up and running. If this is impacting the electrical grid, it is impacting ourselves. So we need to stay hydrated. That keeps the conductivity high. Sleep, rest as needed. Like I said, I have needed more rest than I feel is normal for myself, but that's the message from my body that in order to come back to balance, I need a little more sleep, time in nature, a short walk. Even looking at a picture studies show can bring you back into a calmness. Taking mindful breaths, just sitting and breathing, turning off devices, just taking a pause is incredibly powerful. And if you've never tried it, it's very underrated. And really, it does signal to your system that you're safe. And that makes sure that your immune system is functioning well because if we're not safe and we're in a state of fight or flight, then actually it can affect our immune system. And then finally, well, we are all paying attention to the things that are going on in the world, and we are having our feelings and opinions and processing of all of that. We still need to find a way to bring our own selves back into balance so that we are overflowing with the best of ourselves and not the worst of ourselves. And so schedule time for this stuff to do the thing that feeds your soul. And just by paying attention to those simple 5 things, it will really help you not get carried away in some of the currents that are going on. I'm going to hold this here for just few more seconds if you want to take a screenshot. And that is the way it was printed. So there's not a lot of space, but you can just screenshot that as a reminder. So that is my message for today. Listen to the feedback of your body and take care of it accordingly. Be especially mindful in the next 2 weeks. We are in one of those periods of the year that is extra topsy-turvy. It's kind of the wobble of the planet. It's called a wobble, and our bodies might be feeling kind of wobbly. So take good care, and it's good to be back. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.